Hey everyone, and welcome to Canine Dog Talk. You know, if you're a dog owner, I am willing to bet you've asked yourself this a million times. Why does my dog get up every single time I get up? Well, today we're going to dig into the really fascinating reasons behind this super common and, let's be honest, kind of puzzling behavior. I mean, it really is like having your own personal furry shadow, isn't it? A constant companion who's just always there. It's totally charming for sure, but you gotta wonder, what is really going on inside that cute little head of theirs?
Okay, let's paint a picture here. You know the moment. You finally crashed on the couch after a long day. It's quiet.
And right there, on the floor nearby, your best buddy is just completely out of it, probably dreaming about chasing squirrels or something. And for just a second, everything is perfectly peaceful. But then, you know how it goes. You get a little thirsty. You decide to get up for a quick glass of water. It's not a big deal, right? You're just making a quiet little trip to the kitchen.
And bam! Before you've even fully stood up, their eyes pop open, they're on all fours, and they're looking at you like, where are we going? So what on earth is behind this immediate, lightning-fast reaction? Let's get into it.
All right, first up, the bond of behavior. We're going to explore the most common reasons here. And, you know, a lot of the time, this all comes down to that incredible bond you have with your dog. But, and this is a big but, that super deep connection can sometimes hint at a little bit of anxiety hiding underneath the surface. So this often comes from something called hyper-attachment. Think of it as like a mild version of separation anxiety. Your dog is just so incredibly bonded to you that even the idea of you being gone for a second, even just to the next room, kicks off this little stress response. They feel this need to follow you, just in case. So how can you tell if what you're seeing is simple affection or something a little more intense? Well, there are a few clues to watch for. Do they ever try to stand in your way? Or do you hear these little soft whimpers or moans? And what about that face? You know the one. That absolutely heart-melting, pitiful face. Yeah, those are all little signals that we're talking about a really, really deep attachment. And here's the thing, and this is so important to understand. While it seems super sweet on the surface, what it really means is that your dog's mind is never fully switching off. They're kind of always on alert. They can't just sink into that deep, restful sleep they need because a part of them is always listening for you to move. And that's a really big deal because think about it. Your average adult dog needs a solid 12 to 14 hours of sleep every single day. So if they're only ever in this light doze, ready to pop up at a moment's notice, they're just not getting that high quality, deep sleep that they need to really be at their best. And that lack of good sleep, it really starts to add up. Over time, a dog that isn't well rested can get, well, pretty nervous and irritable, just like us. You might even start to see them get kind of jumpy or bark at every little noise. Okay, so let's shift gears a little bit. We're going to talk about a silent warning sign, when following is really a call for help. Because what if it's not about attachment at all? Sometimes this exact same behavior can be something way more serious. And this right here is probably the most important question you can ask yourself. Is this a new thing, or has it suddenly gotten way more intense than it used to be? Any sudden change in behavior is a huge red flag that we absolutely have to pay attention to. So if this Velcro dog thing is a new development, we have to immediately think about two big possibilities. Your dog might be trying to tell you that they're either really scared or that they're in pain. Now, fear can be triggered by all sorts of things, right? Maybe there's construction noise down the street, or maybe you had a bunch of people over for a party. Any kind of big change in their world can make them feel really insecure. And when that happens, guess who their safe space is? It's you. So they'll stick to you like glue because you make them feel protected. The other really serious thing to consider is pain. A dog that's hurting might have a really tense or even a swollen belly. You might catch them kind of biting or licking at one specific spot over and over. So you'll want to pay super close attention to their paws and joints, and definitely check their ears. Ear sensitivity can be a sign of otitis, which is a super painful infection. And this is the bottom line, isn't it? Your dog can't just walk up to you and say, hey, my ear is killing me, or that loud banging is really freaking me out. They just can't. So they use what they have, their actions. And following you around becomes their way of waving a flag and saying, hey, I need you. I need your help. Okay, so how do you figure out what your dog is trying to communicate? That's what we're talking about next. Let's walk through a super simple guide to help you understand their message. All right, here's a really simple 3-step check-in you can do at home. Step 1 is to observe. Really think about it. When did this behavior actually start? Step 2 is to investigate. Just gently feel around their belly, their paws, their ears, see if there are any tender spots. And step 3, which is the most important one, consult. Always, always, always share what you've noticed with your veterinarian. They're your partner in all of this, for sure. So let's wrap up with the big takeaways here. Number 1, following isn't just affection, it's communication. Number 2, if it's a new habit, that's a potential red flag. And number 3, and this is the big one, always rule out fear and pain before you just write it off as a cute little quirk. I want to leave you with this thought. Your dog is talking to you all the time. Maybe not with words, but with their body, with their actions. And I think a huge part of being a great dog person is just learning how to listen, really listen to what they're trying to tell us. Hopefully, this helps you understand your little furry shadow just a bit better. Hey, if you want more insights like this to help deepen that amazing bond you have with your best friend, please make sure you subscribe to K9 Dog Talk. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today.